Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reddit drama channel with another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it. Also, please click the notification bell so you won't miss when another cheating story goes live. These simple clicks mean a lot to our channel, and thank you for your support.
We both got super drunk on her birthday where she admitted that It has been more than a year now, but all the memories still mess me up so much. I, 24M, had a 2-year relationship with this girl, 27F. It felt like the greatest relationship I had, until now. The sex was great, we could talk about anything. It felt for the first time that the person I was dating was genuinely interested in anything I would tell her. But yeah, things took a turn pretty badly. I took her on a holiday after 3 months of relationship on her birthday. She told me then at the end, while we were both super drunk, that she slept with her best friend, F30, every now and again. I was very shocked at first and very unsure, but eventually told her that hey, if it would happen in 3 or 4 years and our relationship is really good, I don't think I would really mind. The next morning on the way back home I was pretty messed up again and said nothing, being very scared for what was going to happen. So big surprise, the next week she cheated on me with her best friend, did an all-nighter with a lot of coke. She told me immediately and seemed so genuinely sad and said she didn't ever want to hurt me again. She said all those bullshit things you should never say to anyone after 3 months. Like, I believe you are the love of my life and I will always love you. And I believed her, so we stayed together. We had so many fights over each other's attention and also because she kept seeing this best friend. I remember how mad she got when I talked to an ex of mine just for some advice on how to deal with this situation. After a few months she stopped seeing her best friend. I did not believe that she kept on cheating on me with her during this time, but in retrospect it becomes harder to believe anything she said. But another thing happened, because after 8 months of our relationship, she told me that she had tried to cheat on me again with a guy we met at a festival 3 months before that. He wanted to take pictures of her because he is a photographer. I was worried back then, but only made a fuss about it one time. Apparently I should have done that more often. But yeah, she said that nothing really happened between them and she only did it because we were fighting a lot and she, and this best friend of hers, felt the relationship was bad for her, but she couldn't leave me by herself. And yeah, typical fashion, she said that she again finally realized that I was the love of her life and she wanted to be with me forever. Typing this out still hurts. I did everything to keep her from cheating again. I spent so much money on her and became really depressed. Fast forward to the end of our relationship, a few people died in her family, due to natural causes, and even though she was so committed to me, the best friend had to come back because the best friend never really had a family and went to all the family gatherings before me. And she said she really needed her even though it broke me. So she broke up with me because she started working after her study as effing psychologist and the fights were getting really bad. We used to post songs in our shared playlists on YouTube, and after we broke up she kept on putting songs on in her playlists. We even met a few more times because she put songs in her own playlists. But eventually she really ended it. Thing is, only a month ago she finally stopped adding songs to her playlists even though I begged her to stop so many times. Really, like weekly asking her to stop. That she had hurt me enough. It got so bad and I asked so many times that I started threatening a bit because she said she was scared of me. And I thought, well, if you're scared of me then please stop keeping me in this mental prison. I got convicted for that. I should have just quit it, but I couldn't. I had invested so much in her and knew that it would take ages for me to trust and really love someone again. In spite of my restraining order and conviction, I sent her a text a month ago begging her to stop adding songs again, and she finally did that. I never wanted to hurt her and never have been in her vicinity since she broke up, and I would have never been capable of doing some of the things I said. I just wanted her to stop. I didn't understand why she kept hurting me. It used to be so easy to trust people. Now I get so scared of all the things that could happen when I let someone close. My dad left my mom for a new girlfriend when I was 12 years old and died when I was 17 years old. I always took it upon myself to never leave the one I love and don't make the same mistakes he did, but it really doesn't work that way. Parts of me were destroyed in that relationship. I still hope that I can make up for his mistakes one time when I'm older. I struggle to get into therapy even though I really should. Most psychologists here are female, so I find it hard to open up and believe that they could help me. I mean, some are capable of hurting someone so much in spite of their profession. I was mad at my dad a month before he died, because he left my mom. I still regret that to this day. He worked very hard to give us an amazing childhood. and maybe he had similar experiences as me. Here is the second story. So I was reminded of this story because it was May of 1995 when this happened to me. I cannot remember the exact date, but I know it was May. I had a girlfriend, 19, who I, 20M, had met at work. We had been dating since December, but I asked her to be exclusive in April and she agreed. So this is the era before cell phones and even before most people had call waiting. For the youngsters, if you called someone's house and they were on the phone, you would get what is called a busy signal. So one weekend in May, she asks me to not call her house because her grandfather is sick and they have to keep the phone line open in case something happens. I found out later that she was going out with another guy that weekend from a mutual friends at work. When I confront her about it, she says, "We aren't married, you can't tell me who I can date." I suppose that is true, but I guess that means it is also okay to lie to me about why I should not call and to agree that we would be in an exclusive relationship. I think she left that part out too when she told others about what happened at work. I ended up taking her back a few times. It was a really bad relationship and I had no self-esteem. Actually, I think her self-esteem was even worse. Then in August, we were back together at this point. She met a guy at her university orientation and he called her on the phone while I was at her house. She talked to him for about 45 minutes. About 20 minutes into the conversation, I did something I regret. She was in the kitchen talking to him, and I got up and went from the living room where I was sitting and into the kitchen. I then stood silently behind her for the last 20 to 25 minutes of the phone call. I never said one word, just stood there, but instead of invading her private space, I should have just left her and never talked to her again. Funny, she broke up with me the next day at work, while I was working. We worked at a grocery store, and I was a cashier, and she came through my line and broke up with me while I rang her items up. Oh, by the way, one other thing about the exclusivity of our relationship. I asked her twice if I could do something with other women. One, I got invited to a birthday party of a girl that I had a crush on, but I had been rejected by the crush. My girlfriend told me no. That was in July. The second, another girl I had asked out when my girlfriend and I were broken up had told me at that time she was not allowed to date yet. She was 17, and said her parents said she had to be 18. Well, when she turned 18, a few weeks later, but after I was back with my girlfriend, she asked me if I still wanted to go out on a date. So like an idiot, I ran it past my exclusive girlfriend. She said no. I should also point out that the reason I had no self-esteem is because I am overweight. In fact, on Valentine's Day, before we were exclusive, my girlfriend told me the reason she didn't commit to a relationship with me is because, and this is a direct quote, "My name, you would be so cute if you lost weight." Part of the reason she begged to get back with me during the summer was because I lost 30 pounds. I also had one other girl who showed interest in dating that summer, but I made sure to let her know that I was with someone. Gained all of that weight back by the next year. I almost forgot that I saw her once a year or so after we had broken up. We both went to the same college, a very, very large state school. I guess she worked at the financial aid office, because one time I went to get my student loan check. Online banking was unheard of in 1990s kids, and she made sure to very loudly tell her coworker about her boyfriend while I was filling out my paperwork. It was almost 2 years until I eventually dated anyone else. Also, 25 years later, I still hate that woman. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.